everyone, and welcome back to the Women Unleashed podcast. I am your host, Taylor, and we have Britt here with us today, and it is our first episode back in a really long time. I don't even know how long. How long has it been, Britt?
I think it has been a year, at least, or maybe just under, because I recorded some podcasts with some other really awesome women after you had Sophia, and maybe we did an episode after you just had her. I can't.
Maybe.
So
It's been too long.
Probably could. We probably could have looked at whatever
Yeah.
before getting back on, but I think we were just both really excited to start recording again.
Yeah,
so
it's been
a while.
super long time.
Yeah.
So it's so good to be back and sharing stuff with everyone, and obviously spending time with you, Britt, and doing things together.
Yes. Yeah, I like hanging out with you. You're awesome. And yeah, like this podcast gave me a lot, personally and professionally, and I think, and it gave lots of other people things as well, and you. So it's a great thing for everyone.
Exactly. So what's been happening, Britt, in the last year?
Yeah. Oh, lots. So before we roll into that, so we're gonna give you an update on our life, really, what we've been up to in the last year, and we're also not 100% like sold on the way we're gonna set up each episode, how long they're gonna be, and all of that. So we're trying a little different approach, and we do get feedback in the form of like how many downloads and we get for each episode, and who listens from where. Well, not who, but where do you listen from? So that's really great feedback. And if you would like to take some time to give us some direct feedback, then of course you can reach out to us directly. That's probably the most instant way. So yeah, let us know.
Awesome.
All right, well, I'll go first. What have I been up to? So the last time you heard from me, I was working 2 days a week for Origin, and then working for myself 5 days a week, riding Carlos, the horse, training him, training me. I think what was pretty new at the time that maybe we ended recording last year was I started training myself physically with a guy called Cole Stewart, and he has trained world champions in triathlon and cycling and a few other sports. He's like 91 now, and he welcomed me into his team to prepare me for my goals of going to the Olympics and being an elite show jumper. And I'm working with him on my physical fitness as well as my mental fitness, and it's been really awesome. I go down there most Tuesdays. When I say go down there, I go to the Gold Coast most Tuesdays, and I swim 2 to 3 Ks, run, 5 to 8 or 10 Ks. He keeps telling me to run longer. After I've swum 3, though, I don't really feel like running that far.
Oh, that's so impressive. You're so impressive.
Yeah.
No, thank you for me. Don't put me down for that. No, thanks.
I was thinking, with like the journey you're on, I was like, maybe Taylor should join me.
I'll still be swimming while you've finished your run.
That's okay. Everyone's welcome, And so that's been really cool, because as well as doing swimming, running, there's lots of like drills that he gives me, like exercise wise, body weight. And I have found muscles that I don't even know I've found them, but my body has found them. Like they've awakened through the different exercises that he's given me. And I don't look bigger. Like I still am the giraffe or the spider that my family call me, because I'm so lanky, but I'm stronger. Like I can do things that I haven't done before. And my mindset is shifted a lot as well. So that's really cool. So I've been up to that. and he's fantastic. He's really great, as well as all the people that we train with. So that's what's been happening. Carlos, we went to quite a few competitions last year, and we had, some mixed results, a ribbon here or there, and some falling off here or there. I've been having weekly lessons for flat work and a little bit of jumping, and it's been I'd say a roller coaster. And where I've arrived at the moment is, okay, Carlos wasn't as experienced, and he had some gaps in his flat work and his training that I don't understand fully how to deal with that and actually meet him with where he's at. So now we've taken the height that we're jumping back a little bit so that we can concentrate on the foundations. And we went to a competition on the weekend, and that actually went really, really well. I discovered how to the rhythm with him, and getting out of my head and getting into my body and connecting with him. And so that is, I'm not as far ahead as I would like to be in my show jumping, but we've made lots of progress, and I just keep learning lots from there. And so that's show jumping. The work side of things, big development. I accepted a redundancy, and from December 2023, I have been a fully self-employed person. So, yes, that was pretty, it was a little bit scary, but I also was like, no, this is probably something, this is something I've been waiting for. I would never have asked for it, but it popped up and I accepted it. And now having accepted it, and I'm 3 months down the track, even 2 weeks after I accepted it, I just knew there was that right time that I thought there would be to leave was never ever going to happen. No. So I'm very pleased that I leapt off the edge.
Yeah.
In that respect. And I have made a lot of progress in probably the last month with the businesses, probably last 2 months. And it's been a real roller coaster. It's seeing the whole world of how unproductive I am versus how productive I thought I was, and how much of a leader it requires me to be, and my mindset. We'll probably talk about this in another episode, but I've been really listening to a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I don't know why, but this guy just resonates with me, and so I've been really empowering myself with what I'm creating in the future and focusing on that, and it just somehow has me be able to deal with everything that's happening in the present a lot more powerfully. So yeah, I'm really so excited about the future and with those businesses. Awesome. Yeah. And where we are, a massive thing. I got engaged. Yes. Oh my gosh. We actually went over to my grandparents last night to have dinner and celebrate, which was cool. And so that happened in January. We went, my fiance took me, our daughter, and we went into the wilderness in northern New South Wales, and we went on a canoeing trip down these rapids. And I found out afterwards that the river that we went on was used to be the Australian Championships for whitewater rafting or something, or kayaking. And I was like, well, that explains a lot, I capsized the canoe with the ring in it, even though I didn't know the ring was in it. And I just did not even think he would propose to me there, because it was such a dangerous thing to do. Why would you take a diamond ring down rapids?
That is Nathan.
That is definitely him. And he had to throw me off the scent somehow, because he's had the ring for 6 months. So I was like, all right, is it here? Is it happening here? Now? But that was a real state change, being proposed to. I melted, and it just, this connection and relationship with myself and with Nathan and our daughter, and it just was just like, wow, I feel so acknowledged and loved and accepted, and like, this is it. So yeah, that was pretty
that's
exciting.
awesome.
And
It's so exciting.
Thank you. But yeah, in a nutshell, like, they're probably the key things that have been going on.
Big stuff.
So
You're up to a lot of things. Big changes.
Yes, definitely. How about you, Taylor?
Well,
Give us the world of
I had my baby. Would be the biggest thing that happened. I had my daughter, Sophia, who is now just over 1. And so that was really cool. She's awesome. So I became a mum this last year, which has been amazing, watching her grow and develop. And it's phenomenal how quickly they change. You know, they're constantly changing and growing up, and their development over only a few months is just insane. And so it's been amazing, and it's brought a lot of joy into our world. It's also been super fucking hard adjusting to being a mum. So got two ends of the spectrum. Which is really, it's interesting because I used to not understand what people meant, which I've told you before, Britt. What people meant when they said parenting's hard. I was like, man, you're talking about your kid there. Like, that's not very kind. Now I realise it has nothing to do with the child. It's just in general. Parenting is hard, and it's hard because you got to deal with your shit all the time. You know? It's like this big freaking mirror just in your face. So... so done that, and I've been able to watch my partner Will be a dad, which has been awesome. He's the best dad. So it's been really nice watching their relationship grow and blossom as well, and how cute they are together. So so that's probably the major thing, and I've been off work, not running my business while I have been doing the mum thing, which has been cool. Awesome. So giving her my time has been what I wanted to do. And then what else happened? Oh, our house finished. So we moved into our beautiful house in Newport. So that was being built last year, and we moved in October, which is pretty cool.
It's gorgeous. It's very beautiful. You've done well. You should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, we like it. It's awesome. What else happened?
You became a chef.
Yeah, I can cook now. Man, I'm like, the baby just takes over the whole, I can't think of anything else. I can cook. So I've fully domesticated myself, being the stay-at-home parent. I cook really nice dinners for my partner and I, and my daughter, and I make things from scratch, and I cook for my friends as well, which they seem to enjoy it. So that's
I got to enjoy that on Saturday night. What did you made beautiful salmon for me and some T-bone steaks, and then a salad and a potato salad with like mayonnaise from scratch.
Yeah, the mayo was from scratch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I roasted pumpkin for the salad. Yep. Oh, what a treat!
Oh yes.
And I made brownies.
Yeah, they were great. I'm such a dessert person. I was so pleased you made the brownies.
Me too. They were really good.
They were awesome.
I don't know whether to share it, but my nan passed away as well, which we know was a big life change for me and my family. So I haven't really experienced grief like that before. She was a super important person in our life. She was like my second mum, so it was hard to cope with that and being a new mum. It's still hard some days. Some days are easier than others, but getting there.
Yeah, and how long after Sophia was born did she pass away? Yeah, so like I don't know what hormonal changes happen to women who have just had babies, but you're dealing with that as well as your second mum pass away.
Yeah, so it was a super tough. It was even like, I think you just go on like this autopilot actually, because I look back now and with a newborn, you know, they're up pretty much every 3 hours, 2 hours. Sophia was a great sleeper, so about 3 hours. So you're kind of like sleep deprived. Your body's healing because I had an emergency C-section, so and other stuff happened, so my body, you know, had to heal a lot. And I just like, I'm like, how the frick did I function? Because I don't know. It was like, I don't even think I was really in my body. I think I was just doing what I had to do. I even made a speech and spoke at my nan's funeral, like, which went down, you know, it was a beautiful speech, and I wrote it and spoke, and my cousins helped me write it as well. But I did all of that, and then it was like after the funeral, it was like all the autopilot was like gone out of my body, and I was back to like actual how I felt, you know? So,
yeah, it was like you were surviving. Autopilot is your like survival mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like super, it was really interesting, like actually experiencing that and knowing I was experiencing it. You know how sometimes you kind of go through life. I think a lot of people through childhood experience stuff and then as they get older, they're kind of in like a freeze state or some form of like a state and they don't know. So they never...
Because it becomes so automatic.
And it was like that, but this was so in my face how much it adjusted. So it was like all the everything just crept in after it was at the wake. It all just like settled and I was like, oh my God, I am not that good. I'm not feeling that good, you know, like, oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah, I am not okay. But having my daughter also, you know, I had to step up and be her mum. So I still had to keep functioning and doing those things. So I think in some way she was like the best thing. Obviously she was always going to be the best thing to happen, but it was even more like she nearly saved me from myself there for a while. So it's been a big year of change. Will works in his business and I help him with his business sometimes. So that's been, you know, there's been ups and downs with that. My sister moved to Ireland, actually. That's a pretty big deal. So my sister moved overseas, which was exciting for her. She turned 18 and then moved overseas and was living her best life. So that's really cool. I miss her lots. Yeah, it's so cool. She's in Amsterdam and she just goes everywhere. It's awesome. So good. Exactly what I think people should do when they're young and don't have as many responsibilities. So I mean, that's probably the main things that happened for me.
And this is also a big thing, reading. How much have you been doing? How many books have you read this year alone?
Since January, which I finished a book on New Year's Day. So I won't count that. Nah,
does that
I
like
won't
count as
I won't count it because I
or?
started it probably 2 days before. Anyway, I've read 34 books.
She's read so many. We're going to get so technical about when she did.
I read 34 books. So I fell in love with reading when I became a mum. I think when you're sitting, like you're at home, like if they're not sleeping, like it's something, you know, if they're going to sleep on you or something like that, I get my Kindle out and I just fell in love with reading. So love me some romance and some smut. Love it. Apps.
Well, I think we should do a whole episode about that because I don't even know what the word smart means. I'm not even sure whether we should be explaining it on the podcast or not, but we'll just go.
Spicy scene. Spicy.
Journey down there like a
spicy scene.
Let's
go that way. So yeah, I didn't even I'm not even a sports person. Love sports romances. They just... So yeah, I guess that's been something I have really enjoyed doing as well. Really like reading and getting into another world. I've never been a massive reader, so it's only just in the last year I've become a reader. So I've read here and there. Like I've read like popular series, 50 Shades and things like that when they came out. But
Lord of the Rings. No. I never read Lord of the Rings. What about Harry Potter?
I've read Harry Potter, but I actually only read it when I was pregnant. So I wanted to for years and I never did. And then I did, later.
And when you were like giving birth, were you like, could I just do a spell right now and have this be
I
like
wished. Yeah, I actually
done?
just said, I'll just go home, please. I don't want to just send me home. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. It's not for me.
This birth is not for me.
I don't want to do it.
Too late when you're in the delivery room.
Yeah, I tried to back out. Apparently you can't. I did want to go home. At one point I think I was screaming, "Get me the fuck home." I've had enough. Yeah.
Oh really? Are you and like can you not remember doing that because you were so
I don't remember swearing actually. I said to Mum, I was like, "Did I swear?" She's like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh okay." I thought I was polite. I clearly was not. But I was on like I had 2 failed epidurals, so like that mixed with the pain and I guess lack of sleep, you're a little delirious and the pain was extreme. I was shaking and like had my wills, like I was just shaking with my eyes closed and just not really there. Like so I was out of my body, just, coping. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Kind of. Yeah.
You really are. It's amazing what you can do though.
Yes, it is amazing to do that. And then you like come out of it like the next day and all I just wanted my baby and you just find like this strength. I couldn't get out of bed because of things that happened, so I wasn't allowed to leave my bed for a couple of days, but obviously Will brought her to me. And all you do is just stare at this little bundle of joy for hours. You just lose time. You just stare at them and just cuddle them. And the amount of photos I took was just crazy. So that was, it was a time and it was awesome. She's awesome. She's so cheeky. She's nearly walking. And she's just so funny.
She always took a step the other night when we were
I
there.
know. She's so
couldn't help
close.
but think Will was like trying to interrupt her from like almost walking, like to me. I was like, you want her first steps to you, don't you? Don't you?
I think we all do. Yeah, we're all pining for it. Oh, At my mum's group the other day, she nearly took a few steps at my mum's group, and I was like, oh no, Will's going to be devastated if she walks right now. So, but yeah, she's quick on her crawling though. She can crawl everywhere, but I think she'll have a great time when she can walk. Yeah. So, yeah.
I reckon those cats don't stand a chance.
So screwed.
Really on their tails.
That is so screwed. Oh, that's so funny. So yeah, that probably rounds me
awesome
up on the year that was.
Sweet as. And we have, I think one of the reasons that like I pulled away from the podcast even after you'd had the baby was like, okay, I need to deal with myself. I need to take myself to the next level. And those things that showed up was, leaving employment and start, building the businesses. And like we've been really taking ourselves on in this last year. And previously, like when we were recording the podcast, you and I, even before you got pregnant, were like, career women, business women, building, but we have taken very separate paths in the last year. And there's just so much to share about that happened and went on, and I'm really excited to
definitely
to share about that.
There's some cool topics we can talk about in the coming episodes, and stuff like that, because we've taken completely different paths, and I'm super shocked by the path I've taken as well. Like it's not something I thought I would do. So, yeah, and I mean, you've made a big jump from being PAYG to being self-employed, and that's it's just awesome. It's good stuff. But yeah, there's so much we can unpack and share.
Yeah, awesome. So, would you like to jump on into what we want to talk about today?
Sure. What was that again?
I wrote down friends and environment.
Yes, that was a great idea.
Yeah, and
I know.
it's great. It was your idea, Taylor. Luckily, you know, we support each other by taking notes and stuff like that. So one of what we're taking on in recording our podcast is previously Taylor and I would have a chat about what we were going to chat about. And now we have less of a chat about what we're going to chat about. And we just chat about like the topics that we want to talk about. We don't really discuss the topics.
Yeah, we're going to wing it
before we talk about them.
Cuff.
So it's like, yeah, so it's like even more authentic, we hope, for our listeners.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. All right, friends and environment. Go. Hit me. Share.
Well, I think the first point that I was going to come up with was basically how impactful your environment is on who you are as a person and what you do with your life. And how the people you hang around can also impact the type of person you are in this world. So that was like something that I thought we could unpack a little bit, because I mean, I think over the years your friendships change, and I think who you're friends with changes as well. Like, I'm not friends with anybody from school. Life just took different routes. And I think you maybe sometimes have friends for like a reason, a season, is it, and a lifetime? And I don't know, I've heard that somewhere.
There is a saying
something
about
like
that.
And I think it's true. I think it's true. I think sometimes naturally you just stop being friends with people, and then I think sometimes you I guess choose whether they're the right people you still want to be friends with. What do you think?
Yes. Yep, 100%. I can see in my life where I have been friends with people because I've worked with them, or I went to school with them, or I played touch football with them, or I rode horses with them. And then when I stopped doing those things, some of them just, like, it's not like I became not friends with them. It's just we just didn't hang out as much and didn't talk as much, and would kind of stay up to date on each other's lives through Facebook. And I could still call them today. Hey, what's up? You know, like, how's it going? And I did that the other day to a school friend. Like, super cool. Yeah. And then I have, when I undergoed, or when I started doing personal development, like real, like programs like Landmark and all of that, and taking myself on, that's like radical change. That's radical, like, that's transformation, that's breakthroughs, that's really like rocking the identity of yourself. And people, one friend in particular, just like, you know, didn't return my calls, didn't want to be around me, like, not directly communicating it, but, you know, like, we just end up not being friends. And that happened with some people. And now I'm sort of like, oh, well, like, I can see why, and I don't really want to be friends with them either. Like, I don't want to be, I'm not friends with them. It's just, I'm not intentionally friends with them. Like, keeping, like, you and I are friends. So yeah, that definitely happens. And I have friends that I don't speak to hardly ever, and they live across the world, and we're always really good friends when we talk. So, like, which is not very often, but we love each other, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, I don't know if there's much more.
Actually,
Yeah,
I've got to say something. So, like, I know one of the things that keeps you and I friends at the moment is like drama. We both love drama. And so when we talk, we're like, oh my God, this happened. And oh my God, this happened. And like, you know, I've got myself into a tears. And that is, you know, a nice little trauma bond, you could call it, to drama. And that's what a friendship can look like.
Oh, great. That's so good to know. I'm so glad you discovered
like,
that.
I love
us.
you so much.
So good.
I love you heaps, and I do know that that's why that's one of the chemical things that keeps us like in a friendship. And I can tell that because somebody else who I used to be in a similar like drama bond with, they did something with their life and they stopped being dramatic, and I was like, I don't really want to hang out with you anymore. Like, you just really, like, in my own head, I'm like, yeah, you're boring, or like, and I realized the other day it was because wasn't getting my drama hit from them anymore. So that I used to get. And then I was like, oh, wow. Okay, now I can see that. I can see this person through a completely different lens. Then, because I was like, oh, maybe this is it. Like, we're going different ways, or they're not up to what I'm up to. I got to ditch them. Like, you know, they're boring, all this stuff. So, yeah. There we go.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thank you for that insight. No, I think you're 100% right. We probably do. No, we don't probably. We do call each other, and it's a lot of the time when we're dealing. Sometimes it's just, we're dealing with stuff, and it probably, you know, it's probably why we both don't watch a lot of TV, because we just get the drama off each other.
yeah, and I think you and I are both really responsible for the drama. That, like, we don't call each other and create drama together. No. Like, we don't gossip about people or anything. What happens is I'll call you if I've got a drama, like, and I'll be like, blah, 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 blah. And you'll be like the voice of reason and like really, you know, like awesome. And then the opposite happens.
Yes.
You'll call me and I'll be like the sledgehammer, like buzz. You know, did you look at this and did you look at that? And you're not being responsible from this and hard enough.
It's real fun. It's a real fun phone call. I'm just like, I'm just a punching bag. No, I'm joking. No, it's good. And that's why, but like, I agree on the drama hit, and also it's good to have friends like you and I, from what you're saying, who put each other in their places. Like, don't stand for us being dickheads, you know, want something better for us, and know and look at the situation that we're sharing, or the thing that's happened, and go like, yes, I have compassion for, you know, I can see how you can get that feeling from there, and like, you doing that to yourself is not helping. So let's look at it from this point of view, because you're fucking yourself up because you're focusing on this and not that, you know? Yes. Like, I called you that time when I was away, and I was having a meltdown in Woolworths. And I was so angry at you because you were so right, but I was so not ready to, like, oh, it was so annoying. It's so annoying when someone, like, is on the money and you're like, but I wanted to be right and justified, and you're not letting me.
Yeah. And this is another thing, like, we don't, what's the word or words? we don't like tell. I have definitely stopped doing the fixing thing, because I used to just go in and like try and fix you, and I think I would have made you kind of wrong in doing that. And now I don't know, like I've been able to shift my space, and I even call it out. I'm like, look, I'm not going to fix you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. And like, this is what I can see.
See, I think I think you and I have created that space for each other where we can be quite brutally honest in some ways. And I can see in my other friendships how that has not occurred. And, you know, it's like you have a situation happen in your life and you need to have a vent or a chat about it. And like I will call specific people in my life that I know how, like you kind of know how they'll respond. So you kind of call them depending on what response you want, right? And they're not always going to be helpful.
Yep.
So, yeah, like I can see how that doesn't serve me or them, really, you know, because we're just letting each other get away with shit. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like in cahoots together, and you just, right? Like, you won't call them on their stuff, they won't call you.
And you just fall into like a trap. So, and I think the other thing is it's not making the other person like wrong or bad. They're not a bad, you know, obviously they're your friend and you love them. It's just not agreeing with them so badly that they feel like they're like got an army behind them now and they can go into that thing. Like it doesn't serve you being like having people agree with you all the time, because you're never going to be a better person or improve your situation or get better results, you know?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And so I think going back to maybe why you wanted to talk about this is like, if you, now that we've shared like what we've shared, if you see yourself going to certain friends to share or talk about certain things because you know that they'll agree with you, that's what we're pointing to when it's like you are your environment. Like the more you do that, the more you're creating a situation where you have people around you who just agree with you. And then you find yourself in a situation where you're like, why doesn't anyone like, you know, tell me what I need to hear? Well, you created a situation where nobody tells you what you want to hear.
Yes.
What you need to hear, sorry. They tell you what you want
and
to
I
hear.
think sometimes too, you got to be clear that sometimes people will tell you things or give you advice because it suits their agenda. Like the advice they give you suits their agenda, depending on the type of person. You know, it suits, it might suit them for you to become single. It might suit them for you to stay in your marriage if it's an another house. You know what I mean? Like it's sometimes you got to, some people's opinions and beliefs aren't always what's best for you. It can be what's best for them and what works for them, and how you are, you know, who you are to them, they want to keep in that box. So they're going to, not everyone, I'm not saying this is like universal. I'm just saying in some cases, people will want to keep you that way, keep you as that friend. So the advice, and they might not do it consciously.
Yeah, because if you actually develop and stand up for yourself, their concern might be that you're not their friend anymore.
Yeah, and you may not, or you know, you get into a relationship when you've been single and your mates give you shit because they're like, you know, they're trying to be like, say you. You know, they're trying to be funny, but underlying, really, it's just they miss you and they don't want you to, like, stop being their friend, you know? Like, it's not always, I guess it's not always what people say. It's the message behind what they're saying. But, yeah, you got to,
or their actions.
Yes, but it is, I guess you got to be careful with your mates that, But you also don't want the other end of it where people just bag you out and give you shit all the time either, you know? You need someone who's, like...
Yeah, but that's also another form of agreement. Like, if it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
like
what we're uncovering here is like friendship is not agreement. Like, where all your friends agree that it's okay to like bag each other out. Like, that's not okay. Like, yes, you can have like jokes, but like, you know, if you're someone that wants to live your own life, having people like, you know, actually be sarcastic, which is a unhealthy expression of anger, like, that's not going to serve you at all. You know, that's just like then creating a situation where you hear those things and then you've got to like combat the thoughts that you have about what they say. Like, is it actually true? Like, is that really happening? Am I really that way? Because you can't stop your brain doing that. Like, in the first instance, it's just going to do it. And then you find yourself having to manage that. And I don't know about you, but like, I got better things to do with my brain.
Yeah.
Than manage the shitty
Yeah,
thoughts that
I
other
have
people
enough. I
have
don't
about
need
me.
help. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm going to be honest here. I don't need help.
Yeah.
I don't fucking need help from the outside world. I got to deal with my own shit. So, no, that's a good...
Yeah.
That's a fair call. Very fair call.
And I often feel vulnerable with you when I ask you a question that I do not want to hear the answer to. I get this little, you know, like butterfly feeling just under under my sternum, and I find myself needing to like bite my tongue because I'll want to, you know, rattle on and kind of not leave space for you to answer it or convince you of the answer that I want to hear.
Yeah, because it's fucking hard asking me questions you don't want the answer to. Because you probably know the answer. So I'm just going to tell you what you don't want to hear, really.
Yeah.
You know? Or say vice versa. Obviously, you do the same for me. Sorry, what were you going to say? Yes.
But really, I do want to hear it because that's why I'm going, like, do I really show up that way? Like, I don't like that about myself. I'm making it wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and that's
then you can deal with it.
Yeah, so you got to push through the uncomfortable to get to the good stuff, right? So, and that is sometimes asking the hard-hitting questions to get the answer. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yep. And
well, that's why sometimes I don't call you straight away because I'm not ready. Not ready. I'm not ready. Same with Nathan.
You just want to indulge a
yeah,
little bit more, hey?
I do.
Yeah.
I'll put my hand up for that. I do. Yeah, because sometimes I just don't want to deal with it. But then on the other hand, sometimes, and this is maybe a really peculiar thought, but sometimes I wonder if... Oh, I don't know. This is going to sound fucked up, but I'm going to say it, and we could cut it out if it does anyway. But my personality works that a punishment or being like told I'm doing the wrong thing or a bad person pushes me to be a better person and do the right thing. Like, it's a real big motivator for me by getting in trouble, basically. Yeah. So getting in trouble is a motivator for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's very healthy, right? So for me, getting in trouble is more of a motivator than praise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
but in the sense of just general life stuff like schooling, everything. So sometimes I wonder if I call you or Nathan because I think it's like it's like there's a part of me that sees it as a punishment and is like, oh, they're going to kick my ass. So it's that motivator for me. Like, it's like this sick little thing I have going on where it's like, not that you guys do, that's not even close to it. No, you don't. And
no, we don't. It's
just
the context
because
that you
I
have
like
for the
call because I'm like
conversation.
a little girl going, I'm going to get in trouble because I've been a shithead and they're going to call me out on it. So I call to like get my little beating, get a little bit, and then like go out and deal with it. And it sounds, Yeah,
this is
like, and it's
great,
been
Taylor.
coming up because I'm like, I actually think there is a sick part of me that does it because I'm like, oh, I need a bashing right now, so I call. Which it's like, just to be clear, everyone, they do not actually bash me. I'm talking about verbally we talk. Yeah,
Yes,
and
we
that's
have
what it is, straight authentic. It is not,
conversations, yes.
there's no like belittling or making me wrong, or there's always compassion in the conversation. But I wonder if some part of me does, no, I don't wonder. I think I'm on the money here. Does see it as a bit of like a berating.
And that is the like motivator. That you go, okay, now I've had my beating. Now I can let's go redeem myself.
Yeah, like I've been a bad
person.
Yeah,
and
like I've
take
been
another-
bad. And
yeah.
Which is really interesting. Hey,
That's great.
It's an interesting way.
Yeah, like, and sorry for everyone listening. I'm not saying that it's great that Taylor does that. I'm saying like it's great you are seeing this and sharing it, because the next time we have a conversation, like I can be like, so has the naughty little girl called
You know
me?
what I keep thinking? How wrong this could sound. I keep going. Oh.
No, so many. You're not human beings aren't original, right? You're not the only person on the planet that does this, and odds on somebody listening to this podcast is gonna be like, yeah, I do that too, and they get some freedom.
Yeah, because that's not really who you guys
like,
are for me. Like, you're not people that are punishers, I guess, and that's probably like, you're not punishing me when I call you, but sometimes I think that there is a part of me that, So
like we were in our childhood, like physical reprimanding from parents was acceptable and even like encouraged or advised as a legit way to control your kids. And so it's easy to wind up in a situation where you can, because like after a parent has hit you, I would imagine that like because they've hit you, they've done their like reprimanding job, and now they're like, it's okay, like just don't do it again. Like, so like that love comes after the hit or the like verbal reprimand, and therefore you start creating what's called like a trauma bond, or a bond to the being like spoken to or treated that way, because then the good like and the dopamine from the then love and connection you got from your parent after the reprimanding happened like
or even like sorry, just thinking of another example is, if you're giving your child attention, don't always make it negative attention, like getting them into trouble, because it just creates the space for them to want to keep doing things, because at least they're being noticed.
Exactly. So yes, I learned that when I got my dog Minnie, about like positive reinforcement. Same with human beings, same with horses, dogs, anything like positive reinforcement.
Yeah, so I wonder if maybe
wins.
Negative reinforcement was was more predominant in my household. So it it's what I'm used to, right? It's what I'm used to. But yeah, it's a little bit of insight.
So yeah, I think it's great you shared that, and I'm looking for myself, because I remember the last time we had one of those conversations, I called myself out, and I was like, what I'm like to do now is go, is kind of like soften the blow at the end of the conversation, so you feel good about yourself. And I didn't do that. I like called myself out, and I was like, actually, I do this, and I'm not going to, because I'm going to stand behind what I said to you. And so you didn't get like that end bit of the circle from me.
Yeah, it's kind of
there you go,
mic drop moment. Hey, like, a little bit heavy.
This is
Yeah.
great though.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
interesting to look at. And like that may be one thing that I do with certain people, but then there's other things that I would have as to why I call my other friends and what I get from them too, you know? So, yeah, it's kind of like you got to dissect each
Yeah.
relationship and see like what your conversations are about. You know, are they like inspiring and
Yeah.
or are you just talking about other people all the time? You know?
Yep.
Mm.
Wow. All right. Look, I don't know about you, but I think that was awesome. That was so good. I don't think we need to talk about
Yeah, I'm
anything
good.
else. What do you reckon?
I just feel like my heart is right
We
on
done?
my sleeve for everyone to know. So, woo!
Yep. Mic
We're
drop.
out.
We're
First
out.
episode back. Whew. Thanks
Thanks
for
for listening, everyone. And
Oh, should we talk about
strap
quickly? We're going to
in.
talk about a book coming up because this kind of trauma
Yes.
bonds what we've been
Yes,
talking about. This book is called How to Be the Love You Seek by Dr. Nicole LePera. She's freaking awesome. We love her, and we're reading.
And on Instagram,
Yes,
she's called
get
the
on
Holistic
it. It is
Psychologist.
awesome stuff, and it's like little snippets from her books and obviously her teachings, and it's freaking awesome. So we're reading the book at the moment separately, but at the reading the same chapters at the same time and doing the exercises and talking about it. So we wanted to share some of that as well on the podcast because the stuff that she talks about and shares is just freaking awesome.
Yeah. We want to loop our listeners in. So if you're interested in doing the work, I think we should go back to like chapter 1 and like sort of do a debrief of each chapter as we read it. We've read up to 3. We'll go back at 1. So this is your like notice that if you want to kind of join our podcasty book club, that you should go buy the book. I recommend you buy the physical copy because as you read it, you're going to have the experience like someone's sitting in your living room watching your life and things will just jump out at you and like I've highlighted or underlined or whatever, like all this stuff. So
Yes, do it.
Yeah, do
All
it.
right. Well, thanks everyone, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.